The overall album came about through James Williams, and as you know, James was like a mentor for me as well as a brother and a best friend and my manager. He, I always felt like he was wearing a lot of hats, and but he was always thinking about me, and so he told me, Donald, you got to do a record, and I didn't feel like I was ready, but as James used to always tell me, well, you're gonna always feel you're not ready. So luckily I went ahead and did it, and one of the things I'm glad, I took James' advice about a lot of things that usually was the right decision, but James convinced me, instead of doing standards or so on, to do some of my, I should do my originals. So, I think maybe other than Speak Low and If You Could See Me Now, I think most of the other songs are originals. And then James suggested a lot of the personnel. On the recording I used Donald Harrison and Bill Mobley. And, Bill and I go back so far, so that was a natural choice. But I was really glad James suggested me use Bob Hurst and Tain, because even though I love their playing and stuff, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. So I probably was thinking along the lines of people that I had worked with a lot. And then Steve Nelson I had just met maybe a year before. I was teaching at Berkeley, and James was doing a gig in Boston. And he was using Steve Nelson on it, and I remember hearing Steve play. I think they played If I Should Lose You that day, and after hearing Steve solo on that, I was just thinking, man, I got to play with that cat. So like I say, first opportunity that came along, I got Steve to play on the date, but everybody plays their butt off on the record, but I feel like Tain and Bob really interpreted the music the way I was hearing it in my head. But like I said, they brought their thing to it, and it just makes the record for me. And so if that answers your question.